Hello everyone, once again welcome back to PÖFF TV Studio. I'm Amin and we are right here in Tallinn, Estonia, right in the heart of the Black Nights Film Festival. In this episode we're gonna talk about a film, Black Velvet, and the director of the film, Liene Linde, is with us to talk about the film a bit and explain what was happening over there. So, how are you doing?
Thanks, great. Tere.
Tere. Okay, so let's open up our topic with the question of idea. How did you get the idea?
Well, it's my debut feature film, so as lots of such types of films, they are quite personal. So my film is also a story about a filmmaker who tries to make her first film. So it's a meta movie in a way.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it has some sort of theme, like some theme of naiveness and like not having a goal, not having a exact object. So, do you relate with that?
Well, I think the main perhaps question I tried to answer with the film, or question I tried to pose with the film and not even answer, is what is worthy to become a film? What story, what message, what idea, what is worthy enough to be filmed, put on screen, and other people made to watch? So yeah, I'm not saying I answer it, but I think the film poses this question.
Of course, but I mean in terms of characteristics.
Characteristics
Yeah.
of the film?
Yeah.
For instance...
Like this naiveness and not having an object. Like in this, it's sort of like you don't know what you're gonna do in your 30s or something.
Yeah.
So, you relate?
That I don't know what to do.
Maybe not. I mean, the answer can be no as well.
Well, yeah, the answers are difficult.
Okay, all right. So let's move a bit forward and talk about the content of the film. So there's sort of a dark humor over there, playing around with serious, pretty serious things. So how did you manage to basically combine this sort of humor and those sort of the serious scenes together, that it looks nice and understandable and comprehensible? So what was those like process that you have passed through to this combination?
I think with fiction films, it's always been, with narrative films, just my style, you know, because I want to talk about serious things, but I think it's important to do it in a light way, approachable way, and actually the more serious the thing is, the more important is to find this point of catharsis, and usually laughter is the way to get to the point of catharsis. At least that's what I'm trying to do. But I think it's also just like how I see life. I think it is very serious and sad, but it's very important not to take yourself too serious. And I think that's the perspective I try to incorporate in my narrative films. Let's talk not in such a serious way about serious things, so to say, in short.
All right. Okay. So let's talk about the character itself. So it looks real, and it seems that you have worked on it, and you actually, beside nurturing it, you grew it as well in deeper layers. And I would like to know that how did you actually start to work on the character, that you show it in a way that she actually felt that depression or that sort of sadness? How did you make it real and believable?
Well, one thing is the role was written specifically for the actress who had like many years actually to prepare for it, and the first idea for this film was based in my short film, 7 Awkward Sex Scenes, that was shown in PÖFF as well, like some 7 or more years ago. And one thing was that I had the actress who starred in that short film. She's Inga Truopa. She's now the main protagonist of this film. So we had years to talk about like what depression means, to really work on for instance, the character's relationship with her cat, and like what it means to be like a creative person that is in a way trapped in this need to also hold her life together and provide for herself financially, but in a way her brain is not really meant for that. And I'd say one thing was just like working with actress a lot. The other thing was I had, of course, a lot of personal experience to draw from, and the objective with this film changed during writing and shooting. But one of the initial thoughts when I was started working on this project was how do you bring depression on screen? How do you show it? Because usually it's just like even lack of action, which is like anti-cinema. So in the end, it's not like the main theme of the film, but I think there are traces. This was also like one of the things we really were trying to understand how to show on the screen. The state of depression and that kind of brain. Yeah.
True. Yeah. Okay. So, for discovering a bit from the production time of the film, I would like to ask this: that was there any sort of scene that was hard, emotionally or technically, to take? You were like, okay, this gonna be like that one that, uh, it's gonna be challenge and complicated day or I don't know, shooting.
Well, paradoxically, there were like scenes where you expected that they will be complicated, but they weren't, and and vice versa. Those that you thought would be simple weren't. But like one of the most difficult was the film contains film within the film, and that one is shot on 16 millimeters film, and that was the first time I worked with this media, and which is completely different process. You can't have many takes, you have like 1 to 2 maximum, so therefore you need to like mobilize actors, and there was this one particular scene that had to be shot with film camera on the roof in a very short span of sunrise, and it involved cat doing certain things.
Okay,
And
yeah.
the night before that shooting, I was really cursing myself as a screenwriter for like, why did you have to like write
Right.
such a scene? Yeah, you
Exactly.
could have made it easier for yourself. But it turned out fine. Yeah, in the end, the more you are afraid, then in the end, those scenes aren't that difficult in the
yeah.
end.
That's wonderful. You're satisfied with the result. That's the main thing. All right. I was just watching around the posters of the film. There are a couple of them, and then they are having some sort of modern type of design. It's not like what you're expecting to see in a grade film festival, and it has its own sort of how do we call it, like creativity, and they brought new things in terms of designing. How did you was it, how do we call it, like, were you managing on those, or you just gave the responsibility to the designers and say, okay, just do whatever you want?
No, I was really involved in the poster, and in the end, the poster was made by someone who's not a poster designer. He's an architect, a friend of mine.
Maybe that's the reason.
Maybe that's the reason, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. And for the last question, as always, there's a question that if you would have the possibility of going back in time and having this chance to change anything in your film, removing or adding, what would be that scene, or I don't know, whatever? You wouldn't even touch it.
It's a very interesting and complicated question for me because actually, in the end, we cut like around 40 to 45% of the plot out. So there are filmed lots of scenes that are not in the end cut. The end cut is like very different from the screenplay. I think the film became what it could be, and there are reasons. Yeah, I don't think I can go back and change. You know, this is everything we did was part of a process, and the film became what has become. I think when you're a filmmaker for many years, at one point you just learn to let go. You stop working at this phase, and you need to learn go. Of course, you will later watch and think, "Oh my God, I should have re-edited. I should have worked different." But it's done. You have to let go and try to look forward. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for coming up. Such an interesting conversation we had. I, of course, and audiences learned a lot about the project. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Yep.
much. I mean.
And once again, thank you so much for watching us. And till another interview. Peace out.